Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Jaime Fuego.
Back to discuss yet another movie straight out of the Phoenix Film Festival 2018, especially the International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival portion of that event.
Yes.
Ugh,
Let
sorry
it out,
guys,
sir.
this movie does not deserve any more than that.
It gave you acid indigestion.
It did.
By
It
watching.
did not agree with my stomach, this film. And here's the thing about this film. The time we had scheduled to watch it was actually the time that I was going to watch Secret Santa. Fuego had already seen Secret Santa, so he was going to watch Darken, and then I looked at the reviews on Google.
Yeah, you saw that.
And Secret Santa had like a 5.8, and this had like an 8.7. I'm like, wow, 3 full points higher? I guess I should just switch my ticket and see Darken. Guys, I should have watched Secret Santa. This
he hasn't
movie,
even seen Secret Santa.
Well, and I'm telling you, I should have watched Secret Santa. Sight unseen, I should have watched Secret Santa, because Darken was bad.
It's in the running for the worst film we saw at the festival.
I agree. I did not enjoy this film. It was a dark sci-fi thriller, I guess is what you'd maybe call it.
You sprinkled in horror elements here and there, but I mean, honestly, this felt like a TV movie on the Sci-Fi channel that we were watching up on the screen.
It felt like a pilot episode that they tried to put out for a series called Darken.
Especially with the way that they ended this movie without spoiling anything. They definitely left it wide open for further entries, and I doubt that'll be transpiring unless they filmed it for as shoestring as it looked. It started out, we were intrigued at the very beginning of the movie, at the very, very beginning of the movie.
Oh, you mean when the movie stopped? Yeah, I agree. We were intrigued at that point because the movie stopped 5 minutes in, and they had to restart it, and then they started it up.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, when the movie stopped, I was intrigued when the movie stopped. No, because they tried to, and then they started it like 5 minutes after where it stopped, and so they're like, oh, we're just gonna start it over, and I'm like, oh god,
we have to sit
through
this
beginning again.
5 minutes again, which premise-wise, Alice in Wonderland type vibe. You've piqued my interest. I love Lewis Carroll, both of his books, Alice and Through the Looking Glass. But
it's as if Wonderland was created by 5th graders in a airplane hangar. That's
the thing that just killed the believability of this film was its budget.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. If they had been able to make a Dark City kind of movie out of this, I would have been on board.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. It was, and it just. I couldn't immerse myself in this world because I didn't feel like I was actually there. I seriously didn't. I'm like, oh, and we're in like it felt like we were
acting
just like
class.
Not only in acting class, but I felt like we were just like in acting school, like we were in a school that was just poorly lit to
putting on a play.
Yeah, and then there's a couple areas that like felt like a prison and stuff, but I mean it genuinely. The set design was just so terrible. I couldn't buy into anything, as I said. And so essentially, you've got this other world called Darken that is, its energy is running out, and it's like a parallel world to our own. And you can jump over there, and there's this mother of sorts. And I know they were going for like allegories of religion and how information can be a weapon and lack thereof as well and stuff like that. But I mean. It just, none of these aspirations hit, man. They definitely did not. And so there's this medical student who just mistakenly ends up in Darken after somebody jumps from that world over to ours. And, once you get to Darken, they're like, there is no world aside from ours. If you leave this world, it's ultimate death. Apparently that's not the case, because if you leave Darken, you jump into our world, or at least you have the chance to jump into our world, because there's other parallel. And I love this sort of like, parallel alternate universe stuff. That was why we went and saw this movie in the first place, because the premise intrigued us. But Cecil should have watched Secret Santa. I will double down on his point. Once the medical student girl gets there, she links up with a couple rebels that are trying to like overthrow this governmental hierarchy, and the main villainess was god awful. Her little henchman was terrible. Like the costuming was awful in this too, because it's supposed to be like otherworldly and stuff, but yet it was like a weird mix of like there's some people wearing old like colonial, like almost like aristocratic clothes, and then there's other people just in regular clothes, and it's just there's no consistency anywhere in this movie. And yeah, God almighty, it was bad, man.
So she has to try and find a way back home.
Essentially.
That's the long and short of it, and it is just, to me, it was boring.
Running around in dark hallways.
Unentertaining.
Even the action when it happened was poorly orchestrated.
Characters did not care about.
Yeah, even when characters are dying in this, and it's supposed to be like this compelling emotional scene. Donuts for impact, man. donuts.
Yeah. It's unfortunate when this happens, you guys, because no one ever sets out to make a bad movie.
This is true.
But sometimes the final product is just something that we can't get behind. And here again, I don't know if it was just friends of the film that reviewed it on Google, if it was like only 12 reviews or something like that when I searched and saw the 8.7.
And if even your friends aren't giving you 10s, I mean...
Well, but still,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a misleading representation. I would not score this movie above like a 4.5 or 5.
Yeah, Secret Santa's not a good movie, but it was at least fun in its stupidity, and I'll get to that review. You guys will see that at some point coming up soon, but yeah.
The acting was not good. The cinematography felt very Sci-Fi Channel. Just
everything about this just felt amateur.
Yeah,
amateurish. It really, really did. From the concept to the execution, top to bottom. And it hurts my heart to say that because once again, the premise intrigued me. And it just didn't succeed really on any level, unfortunately. No. There was one scene in particular where we saw what the mother whatever was eventually, and got a little bit of like world building backstory. That was maybe one of the only redeeming scenes in the entire film for me, but that doesn't come till the back half anyway, and that wasn't enough to save it when everything else was so poorly executed.
Agreed. So
yeah.
Guys, I don't know if there's there's not much else to really do. We don't need to spend a half hour tearing a movie apart. It just wasn't our bag. We didn't enjoy it. The filmmaking, again, felt a little amateurish, and the sets were rough. And like that, there's just not much more to say about it, unfortunately. Yeah. So maybe the premise would interest you. Again, this is another one. I don't even know if there's a trailer out yet or anything like that. All of these festival movies are not released, or had not been released at the time. I don't think. Yeah, and maybe one or two.
And I hate to lean back on the premise over and over and over, but I do feel like it was intriguing enough of a setup where, with more money for better effects, better sets, better actors, this could have been pretty solid. But unfortunately, based on that, I mean, you have to go with what you have, and this just it failed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi with sprinkles of horror and deep human emotion, and this just didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for our review of Darken, you guys. Let us know in the comments down below if this sounds interesting to you.
Because we really sold it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work this time. But
have you seen this movie?
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Tell me, have you seen it?
But yeah, guys, whatever. You try hard, and sometimes you land, sometimes you don't. But look, everything we've made has been great.
This is my United States of whatever.
Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, Jaime Fuego.
In spite of what we thought, again, we still want to thank Monty from the International Horror and Sci-Fi Film Festival, Patrick from Allied, as well as Jason from the Phoenix Film Festival. Thank you guys very much for allowing us to cover this event. Look, we saw like over 20 movies. We're not going to love every single one of them.
22 features, 26 shorts.
There you go. That's his final count.
Yeah.
Until next time, remember, stay scared.